Today I'd like to share with you a little handy 4-step process for you to interpret your dreams and visions. As humanity is waking up, you're catching up to the world that us shamans and witches and magicians live in. And we live in a world of symbolism. So it's important to remember that while your mind is very logical, your soul, your subconscious, your soul, your right brain is very mythical. And it's different thinking with a mythical brain than it is with a logical brain. So one of the problems that people have when they have profound dreams or visions, they get lost in the details. And you want to look for themes. And so, let's say, here's a really good example. In tarot cards, a lot of people hate the death card or the devil card. But if you look at those cards, death just symbolizes the end of a chapter, beginning of a new. The devil card just represents love that is in bondage, so codependency. And but it's also attachments. It's like when we love something so much, we pull it to us. It's literally manifestation. Like, the devil energy isn't a bad thing. When you look at planetary magic, the devil is often associated with Saturn, which is at Saturday, the last day of the week. And that is also consequently the last form of the alchemical process if you look at the flow of the alchemical process through the week. So you start with Sunday, which is the realization of self. Monday, realization of emotions. Tuesdays, redefinement of morality. Wednesday, gathering of knowledge. Thursday, expansion of consciousness. Friday, connecting to all forms of self. So that's more like soul retrieval or redefining self. And then that solidifies or crystallizes in Saturday, which is ruled by Saturn. Saturn was traditionally considered like the horned god or the dark entity. But all it means is manifestation in the here and now. In order to manifest in the here and now, you have to negotiate with matter, and matter is darkness. So this is why there's no real good and evil down there in the subconscious. In the dream world, there's no good and evil. It just is, and it's all mythic, and it's very beautiful, and it's about us figuring out how to learn. And in my magical practice, we actually personify our subconscious and give it a name. We go on vision quests with it, and it actually is our guide. So my anima is a being that is the antithesis of my logic self, my personality, but it allows me to access the collective field of consciousness, and it speaks to me in my dreams and in my visions, and I can feel it. It's almost like a presence. This kind of magic is really, really old, and in ancient witchcraft, they would have called this like a personal daemon, or a demon. It was very much demonized. That's why, especially in Sumeria, they talk about the Scarlet Women, and that their true partner was a demon in the underworld. No, it was the fact that their true partner was their subconscious, their personified subconscious, which was connected to material reality, and it would often appear with horns, because horns denotes Saturn, and Saturn denotes material reality. That's it. It's really so simple, but so many people get lost in the symbolism, and they are so indoctrinated by Christianity. And training in magic, whether you're going through something like one of the rune programs that I'm going to be creating, or through something like Golden Dawn, or Thelema, or any kind of really strict magical system where you're consistently summoning entities, learning from them and growing your consciousness, year after year, you will eventually decolonize your mind to stop thinking in black and white, and you'll begin to think mythically. But this is like a really good rule of thumb. If you are having lots of visions and lots of expanded awareness events, and you're seeing things and scenarios in your mind, you need to take an observer's view. So here we go. So if you have a vision, you don't really understand it, here are 4 things you can do. Number 1, you want to write down all the emotional symbols. Write down, like if there were things that were emotionally charged. Like recently, I had a dream that I kept losing my luggage. What is luggage? It's baggage. So I'm getting rid of baggage. So something that I'm learning in my current spiritual practice is to get rid of some certain baggage that I have been holding on to for a long time. So write down the symbols of the things that are very emotionally charged, that brought out about emotions in your vision. Number 2, write down any overlying themes. Was it apocalyptic? Was it an ending? Was it a beginning? Was it spooky? Was it obscured? Was it bright? Write the themes of like, what are the mood of the story? And then number 3, summarize it in your journal, and take an outsider's perspective. Like you're just kind of like Tolkien, like writing down a little myth. And then number 4 is take those themes and symbols and do a search online and find out if there are ancient myths in mythology that have those themes. A lot of times if animals show up, there are plenty of myths around the world regarding animals. I would stick closely to the thematic elements of either the land you live on or the ancestors you have. So look at the cultures of the indigenous people of the land you live on, and also the cultures of your ancestors. Look for those mythologies. See if you can find any connections. This is a very simple blueprint to take when going forward with visions. One of the problems with what people call spiritual psychosis that happens in magical communities is just the fact that the human ego has a really hard time categorizing the vast amounts of data coming in from the collective field of consciousness. It's a lot, and the mind can get really scared and think up a lot of disaster scenarios. That's why in rune practice we have a concept called domur, or doom. And in the Havamal, it says, cattle die, kinsmen die. The doom of a man, the domor, it never goes away. And the thing is, this doom is a part of the spiritual process. You're going to feel like this impending doom. You get used to it. It kind of makes you really not the life of the party, let me just say, because you get used to seeing and feeling the endings of things and the completions of things, and you are very matter of fact with it. You're like, oh, okay, all right, this is ending, this is going. The more you grow in magic, the more you become detached from a lot of the things that are important to people. It can sometimes make you come across as arrogant or basically detached, but it's not that. It's the fact that you are accepting the endings and the beginnings of cycles. So I hope this helps. I know that a lot of people in the coming days, especially from what I'm seeing in these, this is definitely what I'm seeing in the zeitgeist, is a lot of people are beginning their spiritual awakening, but they do not have any discipline. And so it's coming willy-nilly. That's why we do magical training, because magical training actually disciplines the ego. It's all about the ego for magical training, because the ego needs to be disciplined to consistently take in spiritual thought. If you are not in a magical discipline, you're going to be shocked a lot by magic, and it's going to throw you off and it's going to make you really dysregulated. So